there, everybody. Welcome back to the channel and more Blood and Plunder coverage here. We're getting to the actual end now of our French commander review. So this will be the last one, and then I think we'll slide over to Spanish next. So what do we get? We saved a good one for last here, I think. René Duguay-Trouin, or Trouin. Trouin, depending on, I guess, how we want to pronounce them. Anyway, 32-pointer here. Historic commander, can lead any French Royal Navy, French Army, or French Privateer. So again, love these commanders where you get multiple forces to be able to put them in, not just the usual like one or two choices. So what do we get with our last one here? So just like the previous video where we looked at Joseph de Mountbatten, same 16-inch command range, but here for some extra points, we're getting that awesome third command point, rocking the brace of pistols and standard melee weapons, and then a nice little selection of abilities here. I think we got 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So even better than some of the high-end commanders out there as far as just quantity of abilities. So let's see what we get for our 32-point investment, and does René hold up as far as somebody that you would want to run in your games? So we've seen a lot of inspiring out there, and believe us, that's a fun ability, great ability to have. But this guy is also rocking very inspiring. So all friendly units within the command range of this commander, which is a hefty 32-inch bubble, may reroll any failed rally test results. But in contrast to just inspiring, right, where it's when he's active, here we're getting to reroll any failed rally test results. So just period, always good stuff there. Commodore, we've seen that a little bit. So again, some of these abilities are going to be more geared towards naval engagements, but he's still good enough to do some things on land, certainly. But when he is aboard a ship, his command range is increased by 12 when giving actions to units on other ships. So think of that, playing maybe just a purely naval game, we get to spread our forces out a little bit. If we're running multiple ships, they don't have to really hug together too much to still get the benefits of his command range. So we can certainly spread out a little bit. Don't have to worry about colliding necessarily. If the wind's a factor too, we don't, again, have to worry about getting into awkward positions, maybe just getting in a position where everything's going to get messed up and we're running into each other or running into the enemy when we don't want to, or getting stuck on potential terrain features like sandbanks and so on. So good stuff there. So anything, again, where we get free increases is always a great deal. Now this is one we haven't seen yet here. Vast Experience. When this unit is activated, it may re-roll a single die on any test taken during its activation, including any actions taken by a different unit using a command point. So that is pretty dang cool. So essentially, if free rerolls are always nice, especially when we're not necessarily spending a command point. But here even we can confer that ability to another unit by using a command point. And again, think of that 32-inch bubble, but also naval engagements. That's essentially just a free reroll for anybody within our command range. Awesome stuff there. And again, also any test, right? That's huge, right? We're not limited to just certain things here. Lucky, anytime this commander's force uses a fortune point for a reroll, the fortune point is not spent if the result isn't better than the original roll. So ideally, we do want to, of course, hope for that better result. But this is nice in the sense that if the second roll is equal to or worse, then we're actually not burning that fortune. So lets us be a little bit more aggressive in some cases with the fortune. Certainly, again, if we get the reroll we wanted, okay, great, now it is spent. But if we're having some bad luck on the dice, we don't necessarily have to feel bad about it, right? So that's a pretty cool thing, certainly throughout the game. And then finally, Broadside. We've seen that one many of times, but let's wrap it up here. So all artillery fired during his activation are fired simultaneously, hence it all counts as the same range attack, and all dice for the shooting test are rolled simultaneously. This may increase the chances of scoring critical hits. So, we've said it many times, right? Just makes those naval engagements that much more deadly when you're getting more guns to bear. And again, we don't just want to do damage to the enemy ships. Certainly we do, ultimately to sink them, right? But crits will just give you that many more chances for potentially like extra damage, but also just a lot of things that will annoy the enemy and hamper their ability to fight, like fire, certainly. Fire can spread. Flooding, same thing. Ruining their rigging and sails and stuff like that to maybe just completely mess up their maneuverability for the rest of the game, and then you can kind of like maybe sail around them, get some nice raking shots, or just pepper away at your leisure where they can't really respond so much in kind, right? All kinds of wonderful effects. So broadside, always a great one. So all in all, getting these 5 abilities here in one figure is great anyway, especially for the points cost. We've seen more expensive characters out there like Laurent de Graaf, right? Although that guy's of course a legend. But this is just a nice big package of abilities. So if you're on the fence about some of the commanders, but like you do want to dip your toes into a named character for your games, and don't be shy about the points investment necessarily. So play some like a decent sized game like 200 or something like that. He's gonna bring a lot to the table for you. So if you're worried about overspending on some of these special characters or kind of pigeonholing yourself, this covers a lot of ground, and the fact that he could be viable in 3 different lists as well. So you got a lot of things to factor in there. What do these abilities do to those particular lists and the units that you have available to you? So again, we did a whole series on all the different factions out there. Here factor in then, what are those units available do for you? What do the special rules of the army do? And then maybe factoring him in as well and seeing how that all can play together in different ways. So let us know, guys, have you run René here in any of these forces? Have you faced him in battles? How has that gone either way? Hit us up in the comments there. Would you consider fielding him? And let us know, of course, down the road if you do. And otherwise, be sure to like and subscribe as well. We'll have more Blood and Plunder soon. We're going to move over to the Spanish in our next series. Thanks so much for watching.